bet that our boat would fit under that ledge.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, Mitchell.
We're not gonna try it now.
Yeah. So you started the bet. We
If
took
you
it.
were in my skipper shot.
I'm looking at that too. I'm wondering if there's a little bit of a rock slide that just happened over there.
Oh, yeah, you can
A
see.
single
Oh yeah, look at that big boulder.
Boulder coming down.
Oh, it just stopped.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
That was cool. That's such a big piece of rock.
I was like looking at that. I was like, is there a falls there? Is that just the clouds?
where the dust is. Oh.
Yeah, but it's down about halfway down from where you see the
Yeah,
dust.
you saw it. It was
That's
a
where it
big
stopped.
boulder that just stopped there.
Is that what eventually takes over the glacier as it starts to melt? Is that the runoff or the rock from the
Are you
rock
talking about the dirty
taking
part of
place?
the ice right
yeah,
at the edge?
yeah. That start taking over the glacier as it shrinks.
Well, so basically what that is called, that dirt line, that's called a lateral moraine. Now, who was asking me about the dirt lines on top? Is that you?
me. Yeah.
All right, so there's three different type of moraines. We got the terminal moraine, that's the one where it's kind of the farthest expanse. That's where it kind of creates that gravel lip, that gravel bar. There's also lateral moraines that run along the side, and so as that glacier is slowly pushing through, keep an eye on the glacier. I'll just sit here and talk. Tell me if anything happens. As that glacier is pushing through, it's scraping the sides of the mountain, and that's what's happening there. And so up into the mountains, there's all kinds of little glaciers that are kind of coming together. Again, frozen river, kind of like you think of creeks and springs kind of flowing into a big river. Kind of all the different tributaries. Same thing's happening. So when you see a line on a glacier, that means two glaciers came together that had two lateral moraines and are all of a sudden coming together. And so that line will be in the middle. And so you'll see when a glacier gets to sea level like this, it'll have multiple median moraines on top of it. And that's where different glaciers have come together and formed one.
I would imagine that doesn't happen very often, does it?
It happens a lot.
Does it really?
Yeah, I mean, once you get up into the high mountains,
Uh-huh.
there's all kinds of little glaciers. I'll give you this. How many glaciers do you think are in Alaska?
10,000.
I got a guess for 10,000.
Let's see.
One for every lake in Wisconsin.
300.
Yeah.
Minnesota, which one's the lake? Minnesota.
10,000 lakes.
Any other guesses? Highest guess right now is 10,000.
3,200.
3,200.
As many as the stars in the sky. No?
There are roughly still about 100,000 glaciers in
Oh my
Alaska.
God.
5% of the ice, 5% of the state is still covered in ice. So there are a ton of just little.
Another one. Yep.
We're over there on the right.
How big does it have to be considered a glacier?
Any type, I mean, it basically, my understanding is when it forms the ice. And so there's all kinds of different stages of when it goes from snow, basically when the snow falls in the mountains,
Yeah.
and then it slowly compresses, and there's all different types of, categories to the snow / ice, and eventually it forms glacier ice. And that's,
I'm gonna
Floating things
interrupt.
that go past us aren't glaciers.
what's that?
So the big chunks that fall off and calve off. They're not a glacier anymore.
They're
Yeah.
icebergs.
Icebergs, growlers, bergy bits.
I'm going to interrupt real quick. This boat that I'm driving is kind of a sail, and we've got a little bit of wind. So I'm not going to be able to like hold a station really well if I turn sideways. For that reason, if you're comfortable with the motion of the boat, if 2 or 3 people want to be standing for a better view to get a particular photo, I'm fine with that. Just don't walk around the boat too much. And if you really need me to, I can adjust. I'm just going to get pushed away from the glacier faster than I'd like. So that's my whole plan. Observe, stand up as you like, just take turns.
Just want to make sure we get to surf the wave.
Oh yeah. If I can find it. And I'm just going to take cuts of here.
So, my legend, John Muir came here around 1879. And so I have my book, Travels in Alaska by John Muir. So I'm just going to kind of read some of the quotes that he had from when he visited here in Dawes. Granted, he was quite a far way back. Back when the glacier was back at that level. So feel free to watch the glacier as I read you guys some John Muir.
Thank you, sir.
You guys all aware of who John Muir is? Father of national parks. Born in Scotland, raised in Wisconsin. What?
Go Badgers.
Attended the University of Wisconsin.
Is there a plaque there?
California.
So he's like the mega trees head.
Yeah, he would be.
He's the father of all cheese heads.
Yeah. Big Daddy Trees head.
After completing my sketch and entered a few notes, I directed my crew to pull around a loftily burnished rock on the west side of the channel where, as I knew from the trend of the canyon, a large glacier once came in. And as to my delight, I discovered the glacier was still there and still pouring ice into the branch of the fjord. Even the Indians shared my joy and shouted with me. I expected only one first-class glacier here. I found 2. They are only 2 miles apart. How glorious a mansion and a perilous pair dwell in. In this form and origin, a typical Yosemite Valley, though yet the floor is covered with ice and water. Ice above and beneath, a noble mansion in which to spend winter and summer.
And this is 150 years ago?
Yup.
My goodness.
How many glaciers be disclosed in another great arm that I have not seen